I'm your host, Brandon Scoopy Robinson, joined by the incomparable Brian H. Waters. Brother, what's going on?
What's up, man? Appreciate you having me on here. It's an honor.
Of course, of course. I would have it no other way. The Ringer's own Brian H. Walters, among other places that you are, but wrestling is your calling card.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say, or that's what it is.
Nah, that's what it is, though. I've been blessed to do what I love with a lot of people that I love, so I never take it for granted any day.
What was your point of entry in wrestling?
Are you talking about as a fan or in the media space? Because then the fan is from birth. My mother said, when she was pregnant with me, she knew I was going to be a boy because I was kicking while every time wrestling was on.
Okay.
And she said it was that moment she knew. The media space, it started with a show me and my cousin did in 2010 called Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub. And we, set up the cameras. It's obviously the early days of YouTube, no professional lighting, just a camcorder. And it was something I was doing while I was, I knew I was going to go back to school. I took a break from college, got my associate's degree. Instead of going right and get my bachelor's, I took a break. So me and him, he saw something on YouTube he didn't like. I said, oh, we can create a show. And we did that for about a year off and on. And me and my co-host, the real Dwayne Allen of the Wrestling Realm, we created the Wrestling Realm just one day in school talking. And I was like, wait, you like wrestling? And he was like, yeah. And sure enough, we would always have these conversations. So we both of us being television production majors at Morgan State University decided, let's utilize this. Thank you. And this would allow us to, apply what we was learning in the classroom, but also talk about what we love. And, the Wrestling Realm opened up opportunities. I worked at ESPN as a production assistant. I was there around the time when they were starting a relationship with WWE. I was actually on my way out. And then later on, opening up opportunities for where I'm at as the ringer, as the producer for the Ring of Wrestling shows, the Masked Man show, and the show that I produce and host Wednesday Worldwide.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Was Razor Ramon / Scott Hall ahead of his time?
That's a great question. You know what? I would like to say yeah and no, because he obviously changed the business. Because we know it was him who had the deal first with WCW that would lead to guaranteed contracts. So for that part is no, but yes, in the standpoint that if he would have been in today's WWE or AEW, he would have been a multiple time world champion. It's just like at that time, you kind of had it on, one person and you kind of kept it there. Wasn't as much television. And then also, unfortunately, wasn't as reliable. So, he was very popular. So he could easily be somebody who wasn't champion and still sell a lot of merch. But, I think that he would have definitely translated well in this day and age because he had that cool factor.
He did. Do you think that his latter match with Shawn Michaels was one of the most underrated matches in WrestleMania history?
Man, obviously it's been 39 WrestleManias. I wouldn't say underrated. I think it's good for the first 15 WrestleManias.
Okay.
But then when you start looking at the Money in the Bank matches and the Hell in a Cell matches that would come forward, you see it. I think because it's Razor and Shawn, it holds its place. But I could see it easily not being in people's top 10 if you didn't grow up during that era and didn't. Like, if you didn't live it, I could see like the younger people saying, oh, it's not in my top 10. I could understand why.
Where would Bret the Hitman Hart and Tatanka fit in today's WWE or AEW?
Oh, man. Tatanka would fit in NXT. I think, there would definitely be a place for him. And then I think on the main roster, he would just be kind of like on the shows where, kind of like that main event slot, as far as the TV show main event, and getting people ready to get on the like regular television. I just don't see that gimmick staying around too much. Bret Hart, Bret Hart would be good in WWE. I think he would be on Monday Night Raw, and you would see him and Seth Rollins constantly going at it for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Who was more enjoyable for you to watch, the Narcissist Lex Luger or Made in America Lex Luger?
Oh, Made in America Lex Luger. As a child, I rooted for who they told me to root for, and I booed who they told me to boo. And I remember being upset at the '93 SummerSlam when he didn't win the title. And I'm wondering, why are they celebrating as if he did? You know, the balloons came down, Macho Man, the whole locker room. And I'm like, well, they can't restart the match. Yokozuna is clearly out. If he would have had him in the ring, 1, 2, 3, the match is over. But yeah, I couldn't stand a Narcissist. He knocked out my guy, Mr. Perfect, at WrestleMania 9. I ain't like that.
Yes, he did. Yes, they were like the same person.
Yeah, in a sense, in so many ways, you know. That's the first time he said the Narcissist, the Lexus, and we were on his way out there. How excited he was!
What would a tag team tandem of Yokozuna and Rikishi be like in today's WWE?
Oh, oh man, they would be more dominant than Indus-Sher. Indus-Sher is like almost there, but they haven't connected with the crowd yet. Yokozuna and Rikishi would have definitely connected with the crowd, but we would have also seen more of Yokozuna's fun side. See, we only seen him as the Japanese sumo wrestler, but after he died and through the documentaries, we got to know who Rodney Anawai is, and we learned that he was the face of the life of the party. So you can just imagine him and Rikishi. They would have had some party gimmick, but then kind of like 3-minute warning, you know, as soon as that bell go off or something, they would have took people out.
Rikishi told me that Yokozuna, who's his cousin, Kahoot. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard that. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. He is super revered by that family. I'm really cool with Lance on the wire. Now I know Lance is younger, but you know, I know like listening to them. I went to the Yokozuna Memorial Show back in 2011. This is the early days of the wrestling realm. Me and Dwayne went, and we saw like Yokozuna family, and you know, getting a chance to like see his kids and see how they would dance, and you know, just seeing everybody honor their father. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. How futuristic or ahead of their time were Mo and Mabel of Men on a Mission?
They were funny. I think maybe they was hoping when they turned Mabel heel, they would have another main eventer on their hand. And you know, I know he had a reputation for hurting people, but I think you know, it would have been interesting to see.
Would you like to see Roman Reigns and The Rock wrestle against each other in the next year?
1000%. That is my dream WrestleMania match. If Big Dwayne say, "Hey, I'm available," you stop everything, you book that match for WrestleMania. It gets no bigger.
Who in today's boxing would transition well into professional wrestling?
The Jake Paul count?
Yeah.
I think he would. I think he knows how to just make people hate him. So I think he would.
Would Draymond Green transition well into professional wrestling?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like Draymond. So I definitely think he would. I think he would know how to cut a promo, and he would know how to get under people's skin.
Who else in today's NBA do you think would fit seamlessly into the WWE or AEW?
I think Embiid would. I could see Embiid going out there being a powerhouse, man. Seeing him stand next to Big Omos, that would be fun. And Tyrese Halliburton, because he likes the business, so I think he could do something.
Do you feel like D-Generation X was ahead of their time?
No, I think they wouldn't. I ain't gonna say they wouldn't have survived today, but it wouldn't have been as fun as it was today. So, but they was definitely responsible for pushing the business forward.
I like it. You got a lot of belts in the background. You got the old school 90s WWE Heavyweight Championship belt. You have the newer version of the Heavyweight Championship. I see this. It looks like the spinner WWE.
Yep.
And then I see you have the WCW Championship belt.
So this is the Andre 87.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant 87?
Yeah, had he won, they made the title for him had he beat Hogan at WrestleMania 3.
Tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
The Hardcore Championship belt, that Mankind, wasn't that Mankind's belt, or it had like tape on it or something like that?
Yeah.
What is the story of that? Was that really the old championship belt? Do you remember?
So what they did was they took the Winged Eagle and they broke it up, and then they taped it up. So that was the idea, just to make it look hardcore, but it's like to take that belt, break it up, and have a hardcore championship.
My favorite championship belt was the Intercontinental Championship belt. I think it just had a sleek look.
Yeah, I actually I put it in the other box. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I have it. Now you remember they brought it back. I don't know if you remember Cody Rhodes. I didn't like him, but this was in 2000, the first iteration of Cody Rhodes. 2000, late 2000, 2010. Because he didn't wear knee pads. I'm like, he looks bland, and you're telling me that this guy's a future world champion. I wasn't buying it.
Right.
But one day, Survivor Series 2011, I remember I was watching with my uncle, and he showed up with knee pads. I said, oh, okay, I like it. Then he had brought the old IC title. And you remember when Shawn Michaels and Warrior they were having it in white. Well, Warrior would switch up the color.
Change the belt covers.
Yeah, and Cody brought it in white, and they would use that up until like 2019, when I think Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles changed it.
So is it hard for guys to change the belts like that with different colors?
As far as the strap,
yeah.
It shouldn't be. You just literally just taking off the plates. I know some people who will buy the different plates, and I actually thought about getting the white strap for the IC title. It's really just unscrewing the plates. It's more time consuming as opposed to like, the today's title have the side plates, and you just literally unscrew those, put the other, like whatever the logo of the current champion, they'll wear those. That's much easier than doing the whole belt.
What's your favorite championship belt?
Between the Winged Eagle and the Big Eagle.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I was always confused about? Maybe you can help me. Remember the old tag team championship belts, like the Quebecers during that era?
Oh, that's one of my favorite tag titles. That is my favorite tag title.
Why were the belt sizes different? Did you notice that? One was more wider and one was more circular, like the championship belt?
Yeah, you talking about both of them?
Yeah, they both look different.
It could have been based on who was wearing it.
That's fair.
Yeah, it could have been. Because like if the Undisputed Championship, the one that they brought in 2002, when they first brought it, it was smaller, and a lot of people didn't like it. And if you seen like Big Show with it, looked weird, but then they made another version that was much bigger. And I wish that belt was only around from 2002 to 2006 when John Cena made the spinner. But it's like that's a gorgeous belt. I wish they kept that around long. They should.
Brother, you answered all my questions. Those are the only ones I had. The good news is that you're off the hot seat.
Yeah, man, this was a lot of fun. I always respect all the work that you do. My go-to for all the NBA coverage, I know it's real if you put it out there. So.
Contrary to some popular belief.
Well, I know, but I know you, so.
Yes, sir. Brother, go get you some rest. Enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you so much for gracing me with your presence, with your wealth of wrestling knowledge.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Let's do it again soon.
I'd like it. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
I'm in.